Hello, Primary 2. How are you today? Hope all of you are great and everything is okay. Today we are going to explain a new chapter, Chapter 3, Lesson 21 and 22, which is talking about the place value and value for 2-digit and 3 digits. But first, let's make a quick revision about the ones and tens that we took on the last year. Okay, any number consists of 2 digits, so each digit must have its own home. Home for the ones and home for the tens. Again, when we have any number consists of 2 digits, so we have home for the tens and home for the ones. How can I represent the tens by the modeling? I can represent the tens by this rectangle bar. And how can I represent the ones? I can represent the ones by the small square. So don't forget this note, okay? Now let's move to the place value and value. Let's make a quick revision and know how can we differentiate between them. Let's start with the place value. Okay, what the meaning of the place value? Here I'm asking about the place, so I'm asking about where the number live. The number lives on the one's home or on the ten's home. So when I'm asking you about the place, you have to write letters. Now I'm explaining the place value and value for 2 digits, for ones and tens. So when I'm asking you about the place, you have to write letters, ones or tens. Great job. But if I'm asking about the value, so when I'm asking about the value, you have to know we are talking about the number value. So I'm going to write the number. So concentrate with me. The tens loves 10. We add 10 on the tens, and on ones we didn't have any zero. To be cleared, let's move to the example. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Count tens, ones, then write the number. So again, we mentioned before that we represent the tens by the rectangle bar. Is it right? Excellent. So how many rectangle bars do we have? 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So I'm going to write 3 on the tens because we have this rectangle bars represent tens. And what about the small square? The small square representing the ones. So how many small square do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. So I'm going to write 5. Can you read this number with me? Excellent. At 35. Great job. Let's move to exercise number B. How many rectangle bars do we have? Again, we represent the tens by the rectangle bars. So how many tens do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 tens. And what about the small square which represent the ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to write 7 on the ones. Can you read the number with me? Excellent, 57. Let's move to the question number 2. Read, then put each digit in its place value cup. Here I have number 12. So what is the first step? I'm going to write TO. Here 1 on the tens or ones? Yes. Is 1 in the tens, so I'm going to write 1 on the tens and I'm going to write 2 in the ones. Let's go to exercise number B, 28. So the first step I'm going to write TO. Here I have 2 on the tens and 8 on the ones. Great job. I think it's too easy. Now let's go to the question number 3. Find the value of each digit. Now he asking me about the value, so I'm going to write the number. Excellent. And don't forget, in tens we add 10 and ones we didn't have any 0. So 26, what is the first step? I'm going to write TO. 2 and the tens or on the ones? Yes, and tens. So I'm going to write 2 and 1 0. And what about 6? 6 and the ones, so I'm going to write 6 as it is without adding any zeros. 83. So what is the first step? I'm going to write TO. 8 on the tens or on the ones? Yes, on the tens. So I'm going to write 8 and 1 0. What about 3? 3 in the ones, so I'm going to write 3 without adding any zeros. So in the ones, I will just write the number as it is. Now we are going to explain a new lesson, which is 100, tens, and ones. Now we have 3 digits. When we deal with the 3 digits, so each digit must have its own home. Home for the 100, home for the tens, and home for the ones. And we represent the 100 by the big square. Again, when we represent the 100 by the modeling, I will represent the hundreds by the big square, the tens by the rectangle bar, and the ones by the small square. So now let's start. What is the place value and the value of the circle digit? He asking me about the value and the place value for the circled digits. Here I have 678. So what is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. So 6 now. What is the place of 6? Excellent. Where the number left? The number 6 lives on the 100 home. Great job. So I'm going to write 100. Great job. And what is the value of the 100? On 100, if we deal with the 100, we add 2 zeros. Don't forget this note. In 100, we add 2 zeros. So I'm going to write 6 and 2 zeros. So again, in 100, we add 2 zeros. In tens, we add 1 0. In ones, we didn't have any zeros. Again, exercise number B. So what is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. What is the place value of 0 now? And tens. Excellent. So I'm going to write tens. And what about the value of 0? 0 as it is. Let's move to the question number 6. Write the place value of the underlined digit. Place, I'm going to write letters. Excellent. So I'm going to write HTO. What is the place value of digit 7 now? It is tens. Excellent. So I'm going to write tens. Number B, 421. What is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. What is the place value of 4 now? It's 100. Excellent. Great job. So I'm going to write 100. Number C, 285. What is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. What is the place value of 5 now? The place value of 5 is ones, because 5 now is in one's home. I think it's too easy to complete the rest of this question. Let's move to the question number 7. Circle the value of the underlined digit. 475. He asking me now about the value, so I'm going to write the number, but don't forget, in 100 we add 2 zeros, in tens we add 1 0, and ones we didn't have any zero. Concentrate well on this note. So here, exercise number A. What is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. What is the value of the 5? 5 on the ones. So in the ones, I will write the number as it is without adding any zeros. So I will choose number 5. Let's go to exercise number B, 652. What is the first step? I'm going to write HTO. What about the value of the tens? And tens we add, excellent, 1 0. So I'm going to choose 50. Let's move to exercise number D 444. So I'm going to write HTO. What about the 100? The 100 loves two zeros. So I'm going to choose 400, 4 and two zeros. Let's move to the next page. Complete by drawing the Hto models. So let's move to exercise number A 359. We mentioned before that we represent the hundred by the big square. Is it right? Exactly. So how many big square do we have? Three. So I'm going to draw three big square. Three big square. One, two, three. Great job. And what about the tens? How many rectangle bars do we have? Five. So I'm going to draw five rectangle bars. One, two, three, four, five. And what about the ones? I represented the ones by how many small square? Excellent, nine. So I'm going to draw nine. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I think it's too easy. Let's move to another exercise. Count 100 tens once, then write the number. Again, we mentioned before that the big square represents the hundreds. So how many big square do we have? One, two, three. So I'm going to write 3 on the hundreds. And how many rectangular bars, which represent the tens? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to write 4 on the tens. Great job. And how many small square which represent ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to write 6. And can you read the number with me now? Excellent. 346. Let's move to exercise number C. How many hundreds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to write 5 on the hundreds. How many tens do we have? Primary 2. 1, 2, 3. Great job. So I'm going to write 3. And what about the ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to write 8 on the ones. And can you read the number with me? 538. Excellent. 538. I think it's too easy to complete the rest of the page. Thank you for watching and goodbye.